turbo, but soul. This is the epitome of pure driving pleasure that BMW offered in the early 2000s, the M54 engine. The BMW M54 was used on many models of BMW between 2000 and 2006. It was featured in the E46 3 Series, E39 5 Series, some versions of the E65 Series, Z3, Z4, and even SUVs like the X3 and X5. The best-known versions of this engine were the M54 B22 2.2-liter, M54 B25 2.5-liter, and M54 B30 3.0-liter. The most prominent among them was the 231 horsepower M54 B30. This engine was an inline six-cylinder, atmospheric, naturally aspirated. There was no turbo. It had direct throttle response. The block of the M54 was aluminum, as was the cylinder head. The valve timing could be adjusted with the dual Vanos system. This meant torque at low RPM and power at high RPM. There was an electronic throttle, drive-by-wire system. It was a very advanced feature for that time. The M54 B30's torque was approaching 300 Newton meters and maximum power was reached at 5,900 revolutions per minute. In other words, it was both flexible in the city and satisfying as you revved it. So what made this engine special? First of all, its balance. It was vibration-free with its inline six-cylinder. It felt very refined when driving. The throttle response was linear, no instantaneous explosion, but you knew exactly what you were giving. Sound? A grunt typical of BMWs of the era, the slight crackling from the exhaust, especially when combined with the manual gearbox, gave you the feeling of a driver's car. The biggest advantage of the M54: simplicity. There was no turbo, no complicated direct injection system. This reduced maintenance costs and ensured longevity. Also, a lot of parts are still available. If you could do a lot of maintenance yourself. And of course, the tuning potential. It was powerful to start with, but in the right hands, it could also be upgraded atmospherically. Some even fitted a turbo kit. Of course, like every engine, the M54 has its drawbacks. The crank ventilation valve, CCV, can become clogged over time. The cooling system is one of its weak points. Parts such as the radiator, water pump, and thermostat require regular checks. Oil leaks are also common, especially in high-mileage vehicles, most commonly from the head gasket. But these chronic failures are annoying when maintenance is not done. A well-maintained M54 won't let you down for a long time. Today, there are still thousands of people who prefer BMWs with the M54 because the feel of this engine is something the new generation of turbo engines don't have. The direct connection, the simplicity, the special bond between driver and engine. It's not just a matter of horsepower, it's a matter of character, of soul, and maybe that's why the M54 still reminds you of something when it starts. True driving pleasure is still here. If you ever drive an E46 or an E39, watch out for the M54 under the bonnet, because this engine doesn't just get you from one place to another. It'll make you live that way.